For all you dessert lovers out there, or people who just want something sweet, wherever you are, I have the perfect recipe for you. It's easy to prepare. It's portable, and it'll get rid of any extra pie dough you might have if you've over prepared for parties or family reunions or something. And I've actually been baking a long time, and we bake a lot of pies. I bake a lot of pies with my mom, and sometimes we do over prepare, so we have a lot of extra pie dough. So this is the perfect way to not waste it. This is the perfect way to use it without having to bake a whole entire pie. And today I'm going to tell you I'm going to show you the ingredients and how to make cinnamon pinwheels. First, after you've washed your hands, of course, you're going to want to get your pie dough and roll it out like this. And you're going to want to get, there's butter, cinnamon, sugar, and you could have a lot of the mixed cinnamon sugar, or you could have some cinnamon sugar mixed and then the rest of it separate. So what you want to do first is you're going to want to get your butter, and we're using a spoon, the back of a spoon instead of a knife, because it won't cut as easily into the dough. So you're going to want to spread it, not thick, not too thin, just enough to make it shine, maybe. Make the rest of the ingredients stick, the rest of the seasonings. So don't slather it, just enough to make it shine. And just make sure all of it is covered, not just the middle, not just patches. Make sure it's all covered. Okay, so now that we've done that and covered the whole thing with butter, let me show you how to sprinkle the seasonings on. And you could do it either already mixed or separate, and we're gonna do it separate. I'm using unrefined sugar. That's why it's a little bit more dark than your usual white. So just sprinkle it on. Make it enough to cover the butter, but not enough to mound it really bad, because we're going to be rolling this later on, and you don't want it to clump too bad. That was my mother. Whoopsie! I don't know what she's doing, but I guess she's getting a pan for us later.
I can't edit that out, I'm sorry.
And then that was my sister. And again, don't mound it too bad. I guess I'm getting serious again. Don't mound it too bad so it doesn't clump and burn later on, because burnt sugar is not a good smell or taste. So try to make it as thin but covering as possible. Okay, now just sprinkle the cinnamon, and if you're doing it separate like I am, you could just do it out of the bottle, out of the shaker bottle, or whatever you want to call it. Just enough to taste it. Whoa. Be careful when you're doing it, because it might clump. And you could add more cinnamon, just however you want to do it. Just don't make it mound on the pie crust. And now we're going to get a pan. That made noise earlier. And now we're going to roll this up kind of like you would a pumpkin roll if you make pumpkin rolls. And you gotta start it off, like don't try and make spaces in between. Make sure it's rolled tightly and not too airy. The middle is probably going to be more tight than the edges are. And once that is done, what you want to do is you want to cut this, well, not with a spoon, with a knife. Gonna want to cut it, just want to cut it, I can't really say a measurement, but just make sure they're all even and not too thin, not too thick, because if they're too thin, they'll be too crunchy, too thick, will be too chewy or too undercooked, I guess. So make sure they're all even, so none of them overcook while the rest of them are fine. And be sure your pie dough isn't falling apart. And when you put this in the oven, you're going to want to put it on 425 degrees for about 12 to 15 minutes. So make sure you monitor them so they don't burn or anything. Sorry about that, guys. My camera went out. But this is the final step before you put them in the oven. So you just dip them in the cinnamon sugar mixture. You're going to want that for the mixture. And just make sure it's flat on there. And there we go. We are ready for them to be in the oven for about 15 minutes. And here they are. Like mini cinnamon rolls. And of course they're gonna have to put them on this cooling rack and let them cool about 5-10 minutes, however long it takes for them not to burn your mouth. And so there you go. Nice tasting, easy pinwheels, and a very messy baker.
Troubles?
I don't care anymore. Just let them have it.